Good day everyone. It is finally time to build a new KingTech server. And I for one am stoked. The current server simply isn't capable of running all our stuff anymore. And as we're filming everything in 4K using our new cameras nowadays, we're also running out of storage pretty fast. By the way, if you're looking for a new webcam, go check out our webcam comparison video. This new server should be able to keep us going for the foreseeable future. So, without further ado, let's get into it.
The first thing we need to discuss is this case. It is perfectly fine to build a server in a regular desktop case, but since we have a server rack in this office, we wanted to use that. A challenge with our server rack is that it is very shallow. A server case has to be less than 46 centimeter deep in order to fit in. But most server cases start around 55 to 60 centimeters, especially if you want hot swappable hard drives like this one. This case is actually designed pretty brilliantly because the motherboard slides under the drive base. That way we can fit in 8 hard drives while still having room for a full-size ATX motherboard. That does however mean that this server case is quite high. It is a 4U case, that means it takes up 4 slots in our rack. The nice thing about these hot swappable drive bays is that whenever one of our drives fails, we can just replace it without having to take down the entire server. And thanks to our RAID configuration, no data should be lost. Speaking of RAIDs, we also have this second-hand HP Smart Array P410 RAID card. This card enables us to configure hardware RAIDs, and combined with a capacitor expansion card, it features 1 GB of cache that will be flushed to the drives when the power is disconnected in order to prevent data loss. The Smart Array is connected to our drives using these SAS/SATA cables that connect up to 4 drives each. For now we will be filling 4 of our drive slots, but we can add 4 more drives later. Note that these components here are not the final setup. We too are impacted by the chip shortage and not all the components we need are available yet. I'll put a list of the final components in the description below. What we did receive is the Gigabyte Aorus X570S motherboard. We chose this motherboard for its 2.5 gigabit Ethernet and multiple NVMe 4 slots. This way we can configure 2 PCI 4 SSDs in RAID 1 for a very fast redundant main drive. The higher network speed is needed as we will be copying our video footage from and to the server all the time. Now that all the main components and fans are in, it is time to install our RAID card and lay some cable, as the kids say. A problem we found with this card is that our case features full PCI slots, but this card is meant for lower slots. We see this more often with server components. Luckily, I still have some old Wi-Fi and SATA cards laying around, so I might be able to salvage something from those. Almost done. I'll now install the hard drives and make sure everything works. As hard drives keep on advancing and we think 12TB is enough for now, I will only fill the first 4 slots with 4TB drives. When we need more storage in the future, we can simply add 4 more drives and buy the latest one at that time. Thanks to our RAID card, we can put these drives in a hardware RAID 5. This allows us to combine the 4 drives into one big disk, and by sacrificing a bit of storage, we can simply replace a defective drive on the go without losing any data. One of the final components we are still missing is a graphics card. This isn't strictly necessary for a server, but in some cases, like running a Plex server, it can be useful. We chose an Nvidea Quadro P1000. This is basically a GTX 1050 for servers. It's not a spectacular card, but it will do the job. And not unimportant, it fits the very tight space we have. Even with this card, it's an extremely tight fit. We have less than a millimeter clearance from the hard drive cage. Thanks to Nvidia finally enabling GPU virtualization on their consumer cards, the biggest advantage of a Quadro card is gone. But there are still some minor differences, mainly in the driver, that might be useful to us. And there you have it, the new KingTech server. I'm very pleased with the result. Thanks to the Noctua fans, this server is very silent and packs enough power to run multiple gaming and application servers. We chose Proxmox as our operating system. This is a special server OS that allows us to manage everything through virtual machines. Here we run a TrueNAS VM for our storage, a VM with Docker for most of our applications, and then some more virtual machines for example, our Arc and Minecraft servers. As this video is already dragging on for way too long, I won't bore you with the details, but if you're interested in how we set up everything, let me down in the comments.
I will make some videos about setting up Proxmox and different virtual machines, so if you don't want to miss any of that, subscribe to our channel, and till next time. See ya!